This video is brought to you by Crawl. See it only in theaters July 12th. Well, let's hope that never happens. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest disaster movies. For this list, we're looking at the most unsettling natural disaster movies in terms of suspense, heart-stopping thrills, and realism. We're excluding man-made disasters and movies based on real events. Number 10, Dante's Peak.
Did anybody feel that?
Amid all the movies about volcanic eruptions, Dante's Peak has a reputation for being relatively accurate. Emphasis on relatively. Experts praise the special effects and the portrayal of the geological survey team, but were less impressed with how different volcanic processes are all mixed in together. In striking this balance, though, the movie manages to build tension in a convincing way, before delivering a horrifying eruption scene that puts other volcano movies to shame. Sure, a lake probably couldn't transform into an acid bath quite so quickly, but if you want to see what the apocalypse would look like, Dante's Peak has it all. Number 9, San Andreas.
Professor, it looks like the whole San Andreas fault line is being activated. And it's heading towards San Francisco.
Was it big, loud, and preposterous? Absolutely. But the visual effects were on point. And the premise of a devastating earthquake in California, all too real. Brad Peyton's 2015 disaster film San Andreas pit Mother Nature against Los Angeles and the San Francisco Bay Area. And although The Rock did his best to save the day, it's pretty clear who won. While the science might have been fudged, the incredible CGI made the movie frightening nonetheless. The moment the earth ripples like a rug being shaken is chilling enough, but the subsequent scenes of chaos and destruction are positively terrifying. Number 8, 2012.
I wish I could tell you we can prevent the coming destruction. We cannot.
It's the disaster movie with it all. Roland Emmerich's epic disaster bonanza played on popular paranoia leading up to the year 2012, when, according to some, the world was supposed to end.
It's the apocalypse, end of days. The judgment day, the end of the world, my friend.
After all, the year marked the end of a long cycle in the Mayan calendar, and therefore, the sky is falling. While that didn't happen, the movie 2012 certainly did its damnedest to frighten the bejesus out of us. The eruption of Yellowstone in particular was terrifying, especially since it actually could blow sometime in the future, even if not for the mumbo-jumbo reasons described.
Hang on, baby, hang on!
Number 7, Deep Impact.
This comet is larger than Mount Everest. It weighs 500 billion tons.
You're either a Deep Impact or an Armageddon kind of person. For this list, we're going with Deep Impact as the scarier movie, even though Armageddon was a lot more fun.
Get off the nuclear warhead.
With a comet heading for Earth, Robert Duvall's character, Captain Spurgeon Fish Tanner, leads a last-ditch mission to save the planet. Back on the ground, there's an incredible sense of helplessness as people prepare for the worst. The lottery system to decide who survives is much too plausible. And that tsunami scene with Tay Leone and Maximilian Schell waiting on the beach still haunts our nightmares.
Daddy.
Number 6, The Core.
All right, I'll put this as simply as I can. Everybody on Earth is dead in a year.
Sure, it was silly, right, downright absurd. The premise, that the Earth's core had suddenly stopped rotating, made no more sense than our hero's plan to nuke it back to life.
And now with this horrific breaking news, we go live to San Francisco, where Leo Jax has the story.
But in a way, the improbability of their mission just made it all the more desperate. Most frightening, however, was the isolating and claustrophobic nature of their task. As they drilled down deep into the Earth, far from friends, family, and, well, human beings in general. Thank goodness for unobtainium, the material used to build their vessel. Despite the silliness, there are some knuckle-biting scenes when it all goes wrong that left audiences sweating as much as the crew.
It's okay. It's okay.
Number 5, The Poseidon Adventure. The Poseidon Adventure was one of the most ambitious movies of the 1970s, and along with the towering inferno and airport, helped give rise to the disaster genre. It follows the sinking of a fictional luxury liner, and for a movie released in 1972, it still looks horrifyingly spectacular thanks to its Academy Award-winning visual effects. In fact, it wasn't until Titanic 25 years later that a sinking ship was so viscerally captured on film. If you've only seen the 2006 remake, do yourself a favor and watch the original. And while you're at it, purge the remake from your memory.
You want another life? Then take me!
Number 4, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh my God. Lisa, are you getting this on camera? That this tornado just came and erased the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign is gone.
The Day After Tomorrow is classic Roland Emmerich. Loud and utterly baffling, yet absolutely thrilling thanks to its spectacular visual effects. Sometimes you just want to see the world get destroyed. And when it comes to that, The Day After Tomorrow has no rival. This movie has it all, from devastating tornadoes and hailstorms to a massive tsunami that sweeps its way through the streets of Manhattan. The image of the Statue of Liberty being swallowed by a storm surge is iconic stuff. The movie is basically a greatest hits collection of all the best disaster scenarios, and they're all shown in breathtaking and terrifying fashion. Number 3, The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is a horror thriller with all the hallmarks of a great disaster movie too. You've got your ominous warning signs in the form of the first attacks and birds flying into windows, and then come escalating scenes of ever greater chaos and destruction, including a corpse with its eyes gouged out, a hysterical prophet of doom, and an explosion at a gas station.
Watch out! Look out! Look out! Watch out!
Then, of course, there's that famous downer ending that signals the possible end of the world as we know it. It's certainly a classic horror movie, but in some ways, it's also a precursor to the entire disaster genre.
Don't they ever stop migrating?
Number 2, The Wave. This small-budget Norwegian movie blew away critics, with special effects to rival Hollywood blockbusters. Inspired by real natural disasters in Norway's northwestern fjords, The Wave follows a geologist and his family as they try to escape a 260-foot-tall tsunami. It's a simple story and it borrows many disaster cliches, but its slow pace allows audiences to broil in the tension and grow attached to the characters, which makes the inevitable destruction all the more compelling. Every disaster buff needs to check out The Wave. Just don't watch the horrible English dub.
It's completely hopeless.
Yeah? Would you rather be out there? Huh?
Okay, calm down.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1, Twister.
The board! Come on!
There might be bigger, louder, more apocalyptic disaster movies, but there is no disaster movie quite like Twister. Twister captured a nation in 1996 thanks to its relentless action and impressive set pieces, some of which have become iconic staples of the genre. One only need hear the word Twister to conjure up images of a drive-in being destroyed, a cow being hurled through the air, or a farm being decimated by a massive cloud of swirling black dust. It was enough to give kids nightmares and to make adults fear the wrath of tornadoes. Who knew scientific research was so action-packed?
What is that?
No, hurry! Hurry!
This video is brought to you by Crawl. See it only in theaters July 12th. Check out the trailer here.